It is the 29th of July 2024. Good afternoon. You are right on time for K24's Newscast. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Walter Sewe. We have a lot lined up for you and these are our top stories. President William Ruto reaffirms his commitment to a broad-based government, emphasizing that his approach will generate more job opportunities for the youth. The National Transport and Safety Authority issues a stern warning to all public service vehicles regarding heightened surveillance measures as schools prepare for the official closing. Flood victims in Tana Delta sub-county continue to endure hardships months after floods devastated their homes, as many residents remain displaced, struggling with inadequate access to food, clean water and shelter. Talk to us via social media platforms at K24 TV as well on our WhatsApp and SMS numbers on the bottom of your screens. We begin. President William Ruto today morning continued with his charm offensive in the coastal region, making his way to Nyali with a bag of goodies. While defending his decision to work with the opposition, the head of state reiterated his desire to create more jobs for the youth, calling on MPs to prioritize and actualize the construction of ICT hubs. Ruto also promised to complete the road connecting Nyali to Kilifi in a bid to boost trade within the region.
The school was like this.
Mara ya pili ukakuja pale Kongowea, hiyo ya kwanza ndani ya Mombasa County.
Watu wa Nyali, mimi nawaomba jameni kwa unyenyekevu, nawaomba umoja. Naona hapa kuna kidogo ubabe wa kisiasa. Mimi nawaomba tafadhali ndugu zangu, nawaomba tuungane, nawaomba tushirikiane, nawaomba tufanye kazi pamoja, kwa sababu taifa la Kenya na umoja wa taifa la Kenya ni muhimu kuzidi umaarufu wa viongozi wetu. Nawaomba viongozi kwa unyenyekevu sote tuweze kufanya siasa kwa amani na tuweke wananchi kwa pamoja na tulenge yale mambo ambayo yatawafaidi hawa wananchi wetu. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba lazima tupange ajira ya hawa vijana. Tupange ajira ya hawa vijana. Pia tumekubaliana mbali na kujenga TVET hii, mbali na kujenga mashule, pia wabunge wote sasa wako na nafasi ya kujenga mahali vijana watapata ajira. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutajenga ICT hub katika kila ward hapa Nyali na Kenya mzima. Na nawauliza wabunge, ili waweze kutekeleza hiyo mpango ya ICT hub, ndio hawa vijana wengi waanze kupata nafasi ya kujifundisha mambo ya teknolojia, tuwapatie computers, to connect internet, tuwapatie walimu, ndio waweze kusaidia sisi katika kupanga ajira ya vijana wa Kenya. Vijana wawe na mapato, ndio tuende sote tupige hatua ya kwenda mbele.
Our focus now on matters security. Gilbert Masenjele has officially assumed the role of Deputy Inspector General for Administration Police after being sworn in last week. Masenjele has pledged to collaborate with the public and other departments to ensure the security of all Kenyans. Following Douglas Kanja's nomination as the new Inspector General of Police, President Ruto appointed Masenjele as the Acting Deputy Inspector General for Administrative Police. The outgoing Acting Deputy Inspector General Joseph Kamau has handed over the office to Masenjele, who is committed to upholding the rule of law and guiding officers to ensure public safety.
I want to take this time to thank the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the Republic of Kenya, for appointing me, and also to thank the National Police Service Commission for appointing me as well. I want to pledge to work within the rule of law and as per the Constitution. I am ready to guide the officers to ensure security is our priority and safety of each and everyone is our responsibility. The common mwananchi, the Wanchiku, should not only feel safe, but be safe at all costs. We have no otherwise. Teamwork, multi-agency approach, we'll work with other security agencies to ensure we excel and we provide the peace that is supposed to be as per the Constitution.
Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights has begun receiving submissions from various stakeholders on the Elections Amendment Bill number 2 of 2024. Key recommendations supported by many stakeholders include simplifying the electoral process audit and establishing a clear timeline for transmitting results from polling stations. These reviews actually aims to address concerns and improve the efficiency and transparency of the electoral process. Let's now cross over live to the Parliament buildings where the proceedings are ongoing.
We agree is aspirational. We need to have concrete measures, particularly within political parties, that not only create the space for women to fill in, but guarantee them of flexibility and security of tenure within that space to compete effectively. And then finally, with regard to the overall challenge of elections in Kenya, allow me to draw my experience from the 2022 elections, where, as the chair of ILOC, we were part of the delegation that went to inspect our ballot papers in Athens. And one of the stark observations that even then the service provider did give is how expensive it was to just produce one ballot paper. And in our view as a country, our biggest challenge to elections is trust. That is why we have almost, it's the most secure ballot paper globally, one of the most secure. And if you look at the cost of producing it, all what we are trying to introduce are measures to make sure it's not tamper-proof. So as we look at all these very important progressive amendments to our Elections Act, our submission as FIDA is that we cannot really divorce ourselves from the question of trust. Trust at many levels, as has been submitted. Elections are not complicated. At FIDA Kenya, we run our board elections electronically, and within 3 minutes, we have election results. So whatever means we look at, trust is at the core of it. If we have means to be able to address it, the better for the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, FIDA. I think we have ELOG now. You'll have just under 3 minutes to give your presentation.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll be very brief. We have submitted a memorandum which is under the auspices of the Uchaguzi platform. 2 of the members are already here, LGR and FIDA. They've already made their presentations. So I'm just left with just 3 points that I make from the general memorandum. My name is Mule Musau. And the other members of the Uchaguzi platform are the CMD Kenya, Mzalendo Trust, and Transparency International. So on clause 33, which is the first of the points, we are seeking the retention of 33 subsection 2, which talks about the Commission publishing in the Gazette the names of the persons intended to contest the next elections in terms of independent candidates. So we are saying we need to retain that for purposes of transparency and openness. And the second point from the extensive memorandum is on clause 25, no, not clause 25, sorry, clause 29, which talks about the issue of dispute resolution, and we are in agreement with the Council of Governors that we don't need to put a cap on that process in terms of the final court, because we feel we may be derogating both Article 164 and the Article 25 of the Constitution. So the issue about a final court should not suffice. That we need to.
We will be giving you more details later on in a subsequent bulletins. On to other news, the Supreme Council of Kenya, SUPKEM, has clarified its stance on a recent petition seeking the removal of President William Ruto and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office. The council emphasized that it was not consulted about the petition and has no involvement in the legal action. The petition, initiated last Thursday by activist Cyprian Nyamwamu and 13 others, calls for a referendum to remove the leaders of alleged incompetence and loss of public trust. Although SUPKEM is listed as an interested party, it has opted not to issue a formal response, instead advocating for dialogue to address the disconnect between the country's leadership and its citizens.
As much as we acknowledge and appreciate the constitutional right of Mr. Cyprian Nyamwamu and his fellow petitioners to pursue the course of action stated in the application, we in SUPKEM wish to disassociate ourselves with this court process because we were not consulted before being enjoined as an interested party. We wish to point out that the Constitution of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims provides that for the society to pursue such a court case, the issue must be tabled before the relevant organs of the council and a decision taken following appropriate processes. In present case, the relevant organ of the council was not consulted before the council was committed as an interested party. In this regard, we urge those who are opposed to the dialogue to rethink their stand and embrace the call for an inclusive national dialogue. But we also call upon the political class not to use the opportunity for dialogue to entrench their vested interests in the expense of the well-meaning grievances and raised by our young people.
We shift gears to matters education. Navaholo Member of Parliament Emmanuel Wangwe has called on the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, to launch an urgent investigation into the Ministry of Education offices at Jogoo House. Wangwe alleges that these offices are engaged in corrupt deals, particularly in the disbursement of funds to public schools. Speaking at the official opening of new classrooms at Ingote Primary School, Wangwe emphasized the need for thorough scrutiny to eliminate corruption in the education sector. He pointed out discrepancies in the allocation of educational funds in relation to the number of students.
Wape kitu wa kuvalisha maua mheshimiwa. Umefurahi? Asante sana. Mheshimiwa.
Kuna mambo mawili inafanyika huko Nairobi. Saa ile ya kutoa capitation, hayo majina yanapotea kwa system. Lakini saa ya kupeana vitabu, majina yote iko kwa system. Kwa sababu mkora anakula murungura, kwa hiyo Jogoo House ameweka majina kwa system, anasupply vitabu mpaka excess. Anarudi nyuma, anakula murungura yake. Ndugu yangu DCI, go to Jogoo House, tafuta hao wakora wenye wanaipa system. When it comes to capitation, wanangoa majina. When it comes to distribution ya vitabu, majina yote iko. Wanapeana vitabu mamilioni ya pesa, wanarudi wanashia mulungula. Where is our DCI on that line? Angalia hapo.
Elsewhere, Nakuru County has embarked on the process of repairing feeder roads damaged by the recent rains, which left a trail of destruction across the country. The county has set aside 100 million Kenya shillings for all 55 wards for repairs on critical feeder roads, while working on a budget for major rehabilitation of roads and bridges affected by the rains. Naivasha was one of the hardest hit constituencies after a dam burst in Kijabe area, killing over 60 people in Mahimahio and destroying tens of roads in the vast ward.
Maji ziko inakuja inaanguka. Ukitoa hizo markers, mtu hawezi gari mengi sana ambayo yanatupitia ruti hii. Kuna magari aina ya maruti na pikipiki nyingi. Na kwa hivyo tumeonelea kwamba hii daraja imekuwa ikiwa ni hatari ama ni tisho kwa maisha ya watu ambao wanapitia hii daraja. Na ndiposa tumekuja hapa leo, tumeleta contractor ili aweze kuanza kutufanyia marekebisho kidogo ya hii daraja. Tutaongeza the number of culverts upande wa chini ili barabara ipanuke tukisubiri kufanya a bigger bridge, tutafanya box culvert.
Kwa muda tulikuwa tumejaribu kufunga ndio zisije zikaingia kwa hii mtalo, kwa hii daraja penye imevujika. Lakini kwa vile wanateseka sana, unakuta wamefungua pali kidogo, wanaanza kupitishia magari hapo. Na vile hii barabara ama daraja ilibebwa wakati tunaelekea kumaliza financial year 23-24, hatukuwa na pesa. So ilibidi tugojee sasa tupitishe budget ya 24-25 ndio tupate pesa ya kujenga hii daraja. Na tayari Mheshimiwa Governor alirudi side yake executive na akatupea pesa ya kujenga hii daraja.
Sisi tutawapea ample time ndio watufanyie hiyo kazi, ndio at least hata hizi maboda zetu tuache kupeleka. Tumeenda garage sana. Mashokonsoba nini na mambavu zimetuuma sana, ni vile wengine hawawezi sema.
Serikali ya kaunti ituangalie vizuri kama vile mheshimiwa amesema. Kwa sababu wako na mpango wa kujenga daraja kubwa na kuweka hii barabara rami. Hiyo ndio jambo lile ambalo litasaidia zaidi hata wale wengine ambao.
It's 1:15 p.m. Time to take a commercial break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.